Hello guys, what's going on? My name is Sam, or Chaotic, and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing the all-new Ubermaxed Revolter that was released into GTA Online earlier today, but as you guys can see from the title of this video, explaining why you guys should avoid buying this vehicle for a number of different reasons. So let's get straight into things and start things off with the car's appearance first of all. Now with this being an Ubermaxed, it is supposedly based upon a BMW, but as far as I can see, there's not a single panel on this vehicle which matches any BMW that I know. The rear end is definitely based upon a Cadillac, but as for the front end, I literally have no idea whatsoever, apart from the headlights which look very similar to those which are featured on the NS Windsor. Then, as for this vehicle's price, you can now purchase this from the Legendary Motorsports website for $1,610,000, making this one of the most expensive four-door saloon cars that we have in GTA Online. And honestly guys, for that, I'm not really too sure what you even get for your money. This car doesn't seem all that special at first, and well, as you'll find out during this video, it doesn't get special at any point whatsoever. So straight off the bat, the Revolter will cost you $1.6 million, making this the most expensive four-door saloon car that we have in GTA Online. But despite being a saloon car, it is not in the sedan category. In fact, this thing is in the sports category, which makes no sense whatsoever. This thing is not sporting at all. In fact, in the terms of its performance, it's not all that great, and we'll get into that a little later on. This car, in my opinion, isn't that great looking either. Of course, that will come down to your opinions. I'm sure there'll be some people watching right now that will like the appearance of this car. But I'm personally not one of those, and I feel like that'll be the overall consensus. It certainly was this morning when I was live streaming when this car first came out. But with that being said, there are one or two features about this car that I do like. I think the wing mirrors are quite cool. The interior as well, and the seats, I like those as well. And in fairness, the rear brake lights are pretty cool too. And one thing I really do like about this car as well from stock are the stock wheels. Those are also pretty nice. This car though can of course be customized at any custom shop around the map, but upon taking it in, it'll be very disappointing. In fact, there are no unique customization options available for this, bar two options. And both of those are very, very limited. Now of course you can upgrade this car and apply all these standard upgrades, things such as the armor, the brake, and the engine upgrades, but there's no option whatsoever to change any of the panels on this. You can't change the bumpers, the hoods, the sills, you can't add a spoiler, you can't even change the exhausts. This car really is very, very basic in terms of customizations, but one of the two unique upgrades available for this is the option to fit a livery. But unfortunately, these liveries are not unique to this vehicle like many of the cars we've had over the past few weeks. All of these liveries are the same ones from the gunrunning update, all of the military themed skins. And personally, I don't think any of these really match the style of this vehicle. So as far as the Santos Customs is concerned, pretty much the only things you can apply to this are the standard upgrades. But then when it comes to the wheel option, now like I said, I do like the stock wheels this car comes with, but with these being stock wheels, you cannot change the wheel color on these. You can't even use the iFruit app glitch where you'd be able to change the stock wheel color because these are chrome wheels. So you're stuck with this color if you want to keep the stock wheels. And then finally, as for window tints, I went for a set of limos. I feel like this car is themed around the CEO style, so I'm not really too sure why Rockstar included this in this update. It should have been released in one of the previous CEO updates, and maybe then it would have been a little more fitting. Anyway, but there we go. That is it for the customization options available for the Revolter at the Santos Customs. But that's not it, because this car can become a weaponized vehicle if you have a mobile operation center or an Avenger. And if you do have one of those, of course request it and then take this vehicle into the back of those and you'll find the option towards the bottom to fit weapons to this. And like on some of the other weaponized vehicles we received over the past few weeks, like the Viserys and the Silvestra, you can fit machine gun turrets to the front of this in the front bumper. But this option is $100,000, and as I'm sure you guys know, the machine gun turrets on pretty much any weaponized vehicle are pretty useless. These things take around about 10 seconds or so, point blank, to destroy vehicles, so they're really only good if you want to kill pedestrians, maybe pop tires, take out lights, and stuff like that. And for $100,000, they are certainly not worth the price. So in my opinion, if for some reason you sort of ignore my warning not to buy this vehicle, definitely do not fit the weaponized option. It is a complete waste of money, and it's much better just to use your standard weapons, which you also have access to just by scrolling through the weapon wheel. So the overall customization then for this vehicle is extremely poor. In fact, looking at it, there's not a single unique customization option available for this car, as every single option available for this is available for other vehicles in game. So the way I sort of see this car is that it is a filler vehicle. Rockstar has made this just to fill time and sort of extend the length of this update. There's not really any use or purpose for this in GTA Online. But there is one thing I will say about this car, and like I said, this car is a 4-door saloon, but Rockstar has put it in the sports category. And although this car isn't very sporting, there might be one or two reasons why Rockstar did that. Now, although this car isn't really that great in the terms of its handling, I don't feel confident driving this thing around. In no way, shape or form am I a professional race driver, and as I'm sure you guys know if you watch my GTA live streams, I'm pretty bad when it comes to driving around in-game. But there's something about this car that I don't like when it comes to cornering, and I can't really pinpoint exactly what that is, but like I said, I don't feel confident sort of throwing this into the corners, unlike most sports and supercars. You can enter any corner at any sort of speed, and you can sort of be confident that you'll go through it without spinning out or crashing. But with this one, I feel the need to really slow down and take the corners very, very steadily. It might be down to the fact this car is very long, and its turning circle is much wider than most other cars in-game. So handling certainly isn't its strong point, but there is one thing this car is decent at, and that's accelerating off the line. So take a look at this. In a straight line drag race down at the airport, straight off the line, the Revolter is ahead against the Spectre. Now, although the Spectre isn't the fastest car in the sports category, it is sort of mid to top range, you can see straight off the line, the Revolter is miles ahead. It's not until the sort of middle of the drag race where the Spectre then catches up and overtakes it, and that's because it has a much higher top speed than the Revolter. But you should find the same or very similar results against most other sports cars in the category. The second car we tested against was the Jester, and again, I didn't have the best start, but you can see the Revolter launched extremely well and was miles ahead and got to its top speed much, much faster than the Jester. But again, towards the end of the drag race, the Jester overtook, simply down to the fact the Revolter doesn't have the highest of top speeds. So that is one thing I will say about the Revolter. Its acceleration is pretty good. In fact, it's probably one of the best accelerating cars that we have in GTA Online. But is it worth $1.6 million? No. There are many other cars in game if you're looking for a fast accelerating car which are much better priced than this. Of course, you have the Cyclone, the Pare, which is also in the sports category, and, well, several others. Now, there's one final thing I want to very quickly mention and point out in this video that was actually pointed out to me by Shark Attack over on Twitter, so big shout out to you. That being the logo on this car. Now, of course, it is an Ubermacht, but if you take a close look at the logo itself, you do really have to zoom in on this one. You can see behind the Ubermacht logo, the Fister logo. Now, hopefully you guys can see that and make that out in this video, but if you can't, if you have this vehicle in game or you know a friend who's got one, then definitely go ahead and look at this. And you can see behind the logo, the Fister logo. And why or how this happened, I'm not really too sure. It is a very weird bug in-game. I'm guessing when Rockstar was making this car, possibly they were going to make this a Fister, but then decided to make it an Ubermacht. Maybe Rockstar just done goofed. Who knows? But it's certainly a very weird thing I thought I'd point out in this video. Anyway, but there we go then, guys. With that being said, that's pretty much it then for this video. So the Ubermacht Revolter is now available in GTA Online, but should you guys buy it? That being the question which I received a lot in today's live stream. And the answer is no. This car is not worth buying in my opinion, and I'm sure most of you guys would agree just by looking at this car. It is not the best looking car that we have in GTA Online. We certainly have much better looking vehicles for a lot less money. In fact, if you guys are looking for a cheap 4-door saloon car which is fast and fun to drive, then get yourselves the armored Schafter V12. It is one of the fastest vehicles we have in game. It is armored and it's about a third of the price of this vehicle. This car is just way too overpriced for $1.6 million, and that's standard. By the time you add the upgrades, the things such as the machine gun turret and all the other customizations available for this, you're going to be spending just under $2 million. And for that, there are so many other good cars, sports and supercars in-game that you can get, which are far better than this and a lot more useful, and this car is definitely one of those which you might use once or twice when you first buy it, and then never use again. In my opinion, this car is completely useless, and like I said, is nothing more than just a cash grab and a filler vehicle in GTA Online. So do not buy this vehicle, save your money, there are plenty of other good vehicles on the way, and of course a new update around about 2 months or so away from today. So with that being said guys, that's pretty much it then for this video. I want to get your thoughts and feelings on this vehicle. If you guys do like it, of course let me know. Have you guys bought it already? Give me your thoughts and feelings on it right now by leaving a comment. If you guys could drop a like as well, it would of course be greatly appreciated, and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I'd recommend that you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.